In previous lessons, we separately discussed how to eject a resource from CDK and how to import a resource into CDK. We're going to combine those techniques together to show how you can move a resource from one stack to another stack, or from one construct to another construct. The process is the same for both. So let's start off by having a look at what we've got here. So we've got a myQ stack containing a queue called myQ, and we've got a Q2 stack which is currently empty. Then in the bin folder we are initializing both the myQ stack and the Q2 stack. So let's get those deployed as they are. Alright, with those deployed, let's inspect the queue resource we have so far. So I'm going to pop that out into a template, and I'm using synth with the myQ stack option just because we want that one stack. And you can see we've got an SQS queue here, and the update, replace and deletion policies are both delete, which is a problem for us because if we try to eject the resource, it would just get deleted, which we don't want. So let's pop this queue construct into a variable, and let's do queue.apply removal policy, and we're going to add the removal policy of retain, and we can do another deployment. And at that point you might think, fantastic, happy days, we're all ready to go. But we're not. So let's go back to CloudFormation, let's give this template a refresh, and I can just double check that for you and click straight back into that menu. I think I'm going to have to take them off and then filter again. There we go. And the template for our SQS queue still has delete for both of these values. And that's because there's a bug with the way that CDK uses CloudFormation where just changing these two values on a resource will be treated as a no-op. It won't do anything, it won't save the new resource preferences. So let's go to update our stack, replace the current template. Let's find the synthesized template in the cdk.out. Let's grab that. I'm going to get the full path to it. And we're going to do a manual update in CloudFormation to the new template version. And when we go through and it generates a change set, it will tell you that the change set's empty and that it can't do anything. But that's fine, we don't worry about that. So I'm just going to show you this. There we go. So there's an error creating a change set, but we can ignore that. We can click submit and we can wait for it to update. And you can see that it had an update for the queue and an update for the stack as a overall thing. And if we look at the template now, we've got the correct values for our update replace policy and for our deletion policy. Once we've got that done, we now need to eject the resource from CDK. So let's comment this out here and do another deploy. With that complete, let's cut this code, pop it into our Q2 stack, uncomment it, and run a CDK import. And now we have to run the CDK import operation with the stack name, which is going to be Q2 stack. That's going to ask us for information about our SQS queue, in this case a queue URL. So let's go and find the queue URL. Here's our myQ stack, and we'll pop it in like so. And that's the import done, and we can do drift detection as CloudFormation suggests. So let's see our Q2 stack. Let's go to stack actions, detect drift. We can go to stack actions, view drift results, and then it will take a couple of seconds for this to happen. And there we go, drift status is in sync with it just being checked now. So that is our resource moved from one stack to another, or one construct to another. We went and visited the original resource. We checked in the template to make sure that it had an appropriate deletion policy of retain. If it didn't, we applied that in CDK. We made sure that it was updated in CloudFormation, and if it wasn't, if we'd hit that bug, we used the template that CDK had generated and did an update stack in the console, and obviously you could do it in the CLI if you prefer. Once that was done, we removed the resource from CDK and we ran a deploy to eject it, and then we popped over to our other stack, we replaced the resource in CDK, and then we did an import. And that's how we got one resource from one place to another without any disruption.